Hey everyone and welcome back to Tala's Cosplay Vlog. I'm Tala and I went to a steampunk convention this weekend, or last weekend. I took some time, because it's a smaller convention, to interview some really amazing people, and we'll be getting to that shortly. But I kind of want to talk to you guys about costuming, since this is what my vlog is all about. Steampunk is kind of hard for me to describe because I'm not very knowledgeable on the subject, because I'm still relatively new. I will put a description in the description box what steampunk is all about, or a link to what steampunk is all about, so you can read up on it on your own through someone that is more articulate than I. So, steampunk, for me, is the only opportunity I give myself to alter found clothing to a more costuming style. Because, personally for me, I like making everything I can from my own two hands as much as physically possible with any other costume. Steampunk allows me a little bit of a break and to test out some skills I wouldn't want to test out anywhere else. So let's start off with the body of my costume. First off, I found this dress. The reason I chose it was I kind of like the maroon coloring. As you can see, it kind of is shiny. So it's not super vintage, but it has this sort of antique feel. I love the ruching along the neck and the high collar. The reason I added these gears here and put the necklace around it, as you see, it's just lying flat and just hooked around the edging, was because I added a corset to the body of the dress, because as you see it lies quite straight on and that's not the look I was going for. So when I added the corset, it cinched everything in and made the collar not lay quite right, but with the chain of the heavy necklace, it just caused the collar to sit properly. I also added some lace to the sleeves here. This caused it to go from a shorter sleeve, it was a little bit past my elbow, to right to my wrist. This also gave it a little bit more Victorian feel. I did do some, some sort of ruching, tucking, pleats, whatever you want to call them. I'm having issues with remembering the actual terminology right now. I also took up the skirt a little bit. As you see, the back is longer than the front, and didn't do much to the back at all. The back is exactly as it was before I got to it. So that was the main body of the dress. I added this corset onto the top. This corset I've had for a few years. I got it from a very fancy dress shop way back when they're having a sale. And never really used it for very much. I just kind of had it because I wanted to take it apart and find out how to exactly make a corset with ballooning and whatnot, but I never did because I just didn't. What I did to make it more steampunky is I added zipper teeth from a broken zipper onto the top lip of the corset all the way around. And you can see here, there's the zipper. And I added some vinyl I had lying around to the boning areas of the costume. What boning is that thick, either plastic or metal, stiff rods within the corset that makes it, well, cinch up. I also added some fake belts. The reason why they look so loose here is because this corset stretches. And so, when it's not stretched, it doesn't lie properly. So what I did was take a old belt thing that I had lying around from my pirating times, add it to some vinyl, sewed the vinyl in, and then hand sewed it to the edge here, and then added a snap to the sides that it was going to lie. Did that all the way down, and then I added, anger doggy. Then I added some gears on both sides of the front side panel. I did it asymmetrically because that's just, I like that look. Personally, I don't like adding things that don't make sense to my costumes, but for me, adding these gears gave it a little bit more of a rustic feel, like this is the fashion nowadays, and, you know, a lot of dresses, instead of having sparkle, I would feel had gears or something metallic on the costume to make it fancier. I also added a brass chain to the back instead of ribbon. And it looked pretty good, actually. I'm pretty impressed with myself that I could do that, because I was just running out of, I had tons of ideas, but I just could not find anything that would work for me for this costume I had. At first I wanted to do a steampunk Little Red Riding Hood, but could not find anything that would work. For accessories, I did a top hat, which you can see here. I added the sash from the dress to the hat, and then added some gears and a feather. I also had with me a feather fan, and because I felt the bottom of the dress didn't have anything, it had no chains or just nothing, it was just cut short a little bit, I added some fancier stockings, and it's like stripes but they're circular, which I found kind of cool. And I just wore some plain, longer boots. So now, since I showed you kind of what my costume was all about, I'm going to now show you the interviews that I took at the convention. There is a prop weapons maker, a tin typing photographer, a glass maker, and a few people that have also dressed up for the convention, so I interviewed them about why they like steampunk and what they were wearing. So, have fun, you guys, and I hope you enjoy the interviews as much as I had fun interviewing people, even though I'm kind of socially awkward. Anyways, here you go.